Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Says Happiness. I'm Mary Ellen and this is basically an update as to what I have been sewing, what's been going on in the sewing room. I've also got some plans for the incoming days and I also have a few pretty fabrics to show you as well. So as you can ascertain possibly by what I am wearing, summer has gone. I am sitting here in a Jennifer Lauren handmade gable dress made in a beautiful French terry fabric. Yeah, because it's cold and miserable and rainy and wet outside. So here we are, back into the colder months. So my Sew Over It Dorothy jacket, which I mentioned I had been putting the finishing touches to in my last vlog, is there. It may get worn in the next few days. And I'll certainly throw it on tomorrow, even if it is a wee bit too hot to take a picture, so I can share with you what it looks like and talk to you a wee bit about the fit. Just today in this video, because I did say I would do that. And yeah, I love it. As is standard for Sew Over It patterns, I find that this was true to size. I made the curve range because it comes in the two size ranges, one of which is drafted to a B cup, one of which is drafted to a D cup. I overlie both so I can make either of them. But half the work is done for me when I go for the curve B cup range, so why would I do anything other than that? And I think, see, in terms of a jacket, it's probably one of the easiest anorak style patterns out there. If you compare it even to Tilly and the Buttons Eden, it's a bit more involved, it's lined, has zip, etc, etc. Or even the Kelly anorak, which is a very popular one and one that I hopefully will get around to making at some point. This one is an absolute breeze. So because of the fabric I chose as well, it made it even easier. I didn't even interface any of the parts of this jacket that called for interfacing because of the stability of that fabric as it is. It has a nice solid bounce to it because it's lined with the fleece, and it did not need any help just holding itself in place. So yeah, I can't fault a Sew Over It pattern, I never have. I think the only thing possibly that I can curse about it was the hardware, having to put in the eyelets and the studs, and pretty damaging on the old nails, I have to say, but that's okay. That's fine. You could even cut down on how many of those that you do by leaving off the epaulettes or the false pockets, because the pockets just at the top are not even real. They're just there for a bit of dramatic flair, I suppose, on the jacket. So yeah, you could leave those off if you wanted a little bit less work when it came to the hardware. But I have to say, I really love it. No sip, nothing, really straightforward. An adventurous beginner could take on this pattern. And I think one of my favourite features as well is that it has the drawstring waistline, so I can knit myself in. That's not my usual style of clothing. My clothing tend to be very fitted, which is why once I got pregnant and then the months that followed, most of my clothes just did not fit because I literally make mine with zero or negative ease. That's just how I like my clothes. It's that kind of vintage fit and flare style. So yeah, this is great because I can still fit it nicely at the waist, and I still need a little bit of help in that department. So yeah, I'll share a couple of pictures of that, hopefully at this juncture, if I get that done. But yes, it's definitely a pattern I recommend. I love it, and I know I will get so much wear out of it. Maybe not immediately, but certainly in the colder months here in Ireland, which are like 9 out of 12. So yeah, I can't imagine it'll get put into the wardrobe for too long. Anyhow, that's that. You already knew I'd made that, I just hadn't shared my thoughts. So let me share my thoughts on some of the new things that I have been making. So I've tried 2 new cashmere patterns, the first of which are the Belmont leggings and yoga pants. I made the Belmont leggings version and I made them in a 4-way stretch nylon activewear fabric, which I got from Jenny Stitches. Now, while I say I've made them, this is basically a toile, because I just wanted to make sure I got the length right. In terms of the sizing, I sized down because I do, as I say, I like negative ease and I like to use it, and sizing down to the 14 actually worked really, really well for me. The only thing I have to do then, because I'm going to make them again and I'm ordering exactly the same fabric from Jenny because it's fabulous and it's not even expensive. I think it's about £5 for half a metre, and it only takes 1.5 metres for this pattern. But I loved how these sewed up. So as I say, I sized down. I've used things such as, if I could show you this, I've used my cover stitch. I don't know if you can see the lines there, but I've used that down for the side seams, which made it really tidy, really smooth. And I've also inserted the gusset. So this pattern, you basically have two options. You can make it with or without a gusset. If you make it without the gusset, it's going to be so simple. If you make it with the gusset, it's more of like an adventurous, confident beginner's pattern. But I absolutely loved it. I mean, from cutting to finishing, you're talking about an hour with the gusset, so I can imagine it would be much quicker without. Not that I'm into quick patterns, I'm not into speedy sewing is really what I should say. Quick patterns are fine. I don't like speedy sewing, and I don't do speedy sewing. I'm not going out there to set any records for how quickly I can sew something up, because I'm a bit meticulous when it comes to my stitching, and I don't want to make mistakes because I don't want to spend time fixing mistakes. So yeah, I have two adjustments that I need to make on this pattern. So the pattern itself is drafted for someone who is 5'6". I'm 5'1". So I knew that there was going to have to be adjustments made. I just wasn't sure where. And with all the good intentions of laying the pattern pieces on my body, it was not going to tell me. So I made them up, and now that I've worn them, and I'll pop a picture in here, I need to take basically length out of two places. So I need to take it across the belly, I need to take 1 inch out, and on my leg I need to take 1.5 inches. So actually, while I'm 5'1" and should theoretically be taking off 5 inches and could have tried doing that just to do the basic math, I'm glad I didn't, because I only need to lose 2.5, and in very different areas of my body. So I will be making these again as soon as the fabric arrives and is pre-washed, because I absolutely love them. And even though there's a little bit of extra length in the ones that I have here, it doesn't matter. I'll still be able to wear these just for running around, walking the dogs and things like that. I've been using my cover stitch, and the only downside is then whenever I ran out of time, I didn't get to put the threads through the back and tie them off or anything like that. But I will absolutely be wearing these a lot, and I'll probably make a couple of different versions as well. So I really, really, really recommend this pattern. I think it is absolutely fantastic, and it's not that I make stuff like this very often. I don't even wear things like that very often. I mean, I've only worn leggings while I was pregnant, and they were ready to wear and they didn't fit perfectly. So at least now I know what I have to do to make these fit perfectly the next time I make it. So I'll get those adjustments made on those pattern pieces going forward. And then the other thing that I made, again, it's from Cashmerette, is one of the patterns from Cashmerette Club. Now, I have kindly been gifted an all-access yearly membership to Cashmerette Club, and I've already picked out a few of the patterns that I really want to make. Unfortunately, I was pregnant whenever the club kind of started, so I didn't make things then that wouldn't serve me well afterwards. So I'm revisiting some of the earlier stuff now, and the first one that I have made is the brattle top, and I'll pop a couple of pictures from Cashmerette up here so you can see variation of that pattern. It's really just, again, casual wear, which I know you haven't seen of me ever, but it is a gap in my wardrobe. And even now, thinking forward a few months' time, hopefully I'll get back to the gym a couple of times a week, which I used to do until lockdown happened. And I'll be making even more active wear rather than just leisure wear, which is certainly what I've been making over the last few days. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Cashmerette Club, you really ought to do that. I'm a huge Cashmerette fan, or I wouldn't praise them. I'm quite honest. If I don't like a thing, I'll tell you. But the Cashmere Club is great value for money for a start. There are 3 tiers, starting from $9 a month right up to $12 a month if you go all access. The only thing is you pay for the year rather than monthly installments for that one. But what you get, basically, you're getting every month a PDF pattern, which is expertly drafted for curves. You are getting patterns that are drafted to cup sizes, which takes out a hell of a lot of the work. So if you're like me and full bust adjustments are something that you have to do pretty much on any pattern, you know, Cashmere is worth having a look. You'll get a fitting class taught by Jenny, who, you know, is the, to me, she's the queen of making things very simple. And if you haven't bought her book about fitting, I recommend you do that. To be honest, I haven't used any of the patterns even in that book, but it has been a resource that I've pulled out again and again and again to make basic adjustments to pattern pieces. There is also members only events. So every month there'll be an event that you can join in and connect with members all over the world. That's if you are on the 2 top tiers of the club. There's also a clubhouse where you can chat with other people. I haven't had a chance really to delve into that and get involved in conversations or anything. I'm struggling just to talk to my lovely people here, but that looks great as well. There's also 90% off my body model if, you know, you want to sketch your wardrobe and your makes. And then there's discounts as well for the top tiers, which is quite handy. So whenever they release patterns that are standalone, so not part of the club, you'll get discounts off those too. So I've started with a really easy one, breaking myself in gently, so to speak, and I have made the Brattle top. So yeah, separates are not something I make very often, which is why the leggings I found a really interesting make for me, because it's got me more to familiarize myself with the bottom half of my body. The measurements up here, you know, I'm skilled in those. I'll be able to do adaptations to patterns, no bother at all. I can alter things for the top of me. I just had no idea where to start for the bottom. But now I have a little bit of an idea of how things work in that regard. So maybe separates is something you'll see me make more of in the future. Wait and see. So yeah, the Brattle top is a really, really simple t-shirt, basically. It's simple to sew. Again, from conception to completion, it was less than an hour for me to make this. And if I just show you it here, and I'll pop pictures in because I'm sure I'll get some pictures taken. This is my Brattle top. I have made this in a cotton jersey. So as I say, it's not for sportswear, it's just leisure wear for casual walks and things like that, or even just around the house. This is a lovely cotton jersey which I got from Jenny Stitches. So it's got all these gorgeous little hearts on grey and then little glitter purple hearts, which I thought were really sweet. And yeah, short sleeves. That is not a thread that hasn't been finished, that's a thread I've picked up somewhere along the way. But yeah, the interesting element of this, and this is what elevates it, is this twist detail at the bottom of the top, which is actually incredibly flattering, and what's more, really, really easy to do. So the last time I think I encountered a twist in a pattern was the Tilly and the Buttons Joni dress. And to be honest, I thought it was horrendous. I did a pretty good job of it. I think I did the best job I could do. Pretty much anyone else who has made it has said the same. It's not great in terms of just how it sits on the bust. But this is flawless. You wouldn't even see where the twist has been made. There's no shifting the way it's been drafted. It's so, so clever. I absolutely love it. And the thing I love about this top is that it is really something that you can make as versatile as you want it. So while I've made it here in cotton jersey, I'll definitely be making it in more leisure wear fabric, so like nylon or something, definitely with a 4-way stretch, just, you know, for actual working out. But this could also be made into something beautiful for evening wear. If you use like a sequin mesh or you use something with lurex in it, you'd have a really beautiful silhouette that is very, very flattering. Just the way it's shaped is very clever. And I say as well that the sizing is really good. Again, as with the leggings, I size down. I tend to size down in a lot of cashmere patterns just because I find there's too much ease in the pattern for me personally. So yeah, I've made a 14 in that as well. And also, not only am I a fan of using the stretch and recovery in a jersey fabric, but as I say, I am planning on losing a few pounds going forward, you know. So I don't want to be making things that are too baggy, because that's not going to be comfortable for me to wear. And I know that sounds really counterintuitive, but I don't like clothes that are too baggy. So I have a little visitor coming into the sewing room. Hello, Oreo. Hello, pup. Okay, so yeah, he wasn't going to settle until he got to sit beside me. So we have Oreo along for the ride now as well. So that leads me on then to future plans. Although I will share a couple of pictures with you with one other thing that I've made, and I'm not going to go on at length about it because you've all seen the fringe dress by Chalk and Notch on me before, and there is a previous video which I'll link down below for you if you want to know more about that pattern and my feelings on it. But there was also yeah, that make as well, which went live on the Cotswold Sewing Centre's blog this week, and I only finished it actually on Thursday past before I went out for a retirement do with my colleagues for a member of staff who sadly is leaving before I even get back from my maternity leave. And yeah, I finished it that morning to go out that night, so it was one of those, you know, that you just needed a new dress for. And yeah, the people over at Cotswold Sewing Centre as well have gifted all of you a discount code. So if you use the discount code Mary20, you will get 20% off fabric from their website, which is a gift. Their fabrics are already quite reasonably priced as well. So yeah, feel free to go and use that. So yes, future plans then. You're going to have to go down because I need to show some stuff. So yeah, future plans is to make another rattle top, to make another pair of these leggings that are perfectly fitted for me, and I'm going to make my brattle out of this really loud cotton jersey which I got from Lily and Mimi, which is pre-washed, ready to go. I might get that cut out actually tonight, and I was hoping to get this cut out tonight as well. So if you've been coming here, you'll know I've been making these little jersey panel up into tops for Henry to mark every month milestone, and yeah, seven months old on Friday. So I'm hopefully getting that done. I just went to print a pattern a size bigger because that's where we're going again, and my printer was out of ink, so that'll have to wait till tomorrow until I get it refilled, and yeah, then we'll do that. And what else am I planning to do? I think that's it, those three things, and in a week that's actually quite good going for me. The other chore I have in my head is to recover my ironing board because it's looking a bit grubby and I don't like it. Every year or so I tend to recover my ironing board, it's just something I do. Anyhow, let's get on to the last part of this video because I've been rambling on for quite a long time and I don't like my videos to go on much more than 20-25 minutes. So let's see. What have I got? I have a few different fabrics here. So the first fabric I've got is a viscose fabric with this lovely tulip print on it. And I just am a big fan of tulips, the destroyers of the Ottoman Empire, and yeah, I couldn't resist that when I saw it. So it's another viscose to go into the collection that I'll make up someday. And this little beauty was from Stitch and Ink Fabrics. The other fabrics that I have here then are all from Fleur. So the first one I have is fabulous. I couldn't resist it, even though I'm supposed to be resisting. It's called Edgar's Writing Room. It's made by Cloud9, and I think I have 3 meters of this fabric, and I just love it. I'm getting ready to make some Halloween makes. I have another fabric actually on the way for Halloween as well. But again, this is something that I will wear all year round and not just at Halloween, because not only am I a PhD in literature, I am a librarian, so I can get away with wearing book print anything at any point of the year. And it's just a beautiful cotton. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I have got, and this is where you are gonna think I'm a wee bit mad, I have got, it's an art gallery, just had to check, it's an art gallery fabrics, and this is called Christmas Potpourri as part of their winter tail collection, and I am hoping to get ahead of myself this year and make some beautiful festive makes. I also have some cute mummy son matching outfits planned as well, but I thought this was lovely with the spice and the cookies and the fur and the sweets and the candy canes, and it's on a black background and it's quite subtle, so I opted for that as part of my winter wardrobe because it is more for the whole month, not just for Christmas. And then I also have this little fabric as well. So this is a cotton, it's 100% cotton. It's called Rally Around Midnight. I say, to be honest, this is an absolute bargain of a fabric. This was £6 per metre, and I've got 3 meters of this, and this is to make a shirt for Simon. It's been a while, so I'm going to be making the Fairfield Theory button up. The Thread Theory Fairfield button up shirt. That's correct. That's what that's for. And then the last fabric that I have here, again, I just couldn't resist. I'm definitely into celestial prints, and I never really find any that are muted enough for me. So I'm just looking to make sure I've got the right name for this one. This is called Moon Garden, and it's a Jason Yenter design, which I absolutely adore. It's from the sun, the moon, the stars, a recent collection, and I just thought the colours in it were absolutely beautiful. And you've got the dragonflies and the mushrooms, and it's so earthy and beautiful, and yeah, absolutely loved it as well. So it's here, and that'll make its way into my autumn wardrobe, I am sure, if not before, and it'll go lovely with some pieces of knitwear that I have as well. So I think that's me. I think I've rounded up. Hopefully I haven't gone on too long, and you've enjoyed catching up with me here as to what's been happening, and hopefully in a few days I'll be back to share some more with you as well. Yeah, so there we are. Hopefully you're all having a great week wherever you are. I will hopefully tomorrow get photographs of all these things and get this video up, fingers crossed. And yeah, just thank you again for coming back. And if you are new and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, if you would subscribe, that would be great to help me growing this little channel. I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully I'll have much more time going forward to make myself more regular, a visible presence here. So again, as I say, thank you so much for stopping by. I would go and play with Henry before bed, and I'll catch up with all of you soon. Happy sewing! Bye!